I don't remember getting home. I remember the paper on my kitchen table, the word candidate glaring up at me. I remember the pen beside it, right where I dropped it. I remember washing my hands 3 times, even though there was nothing on them. I didn't turn any lights on. Outside my window, the city went through its normal routine. People argued on sidewalks, a siren in the distance. A couple laughed too loudly as they passed by, drunk, alive and unaware of how easily those two things could separate. I tried not to think about Eric in the trunk, whether he was still there. "You did that," the voice in my head said. "You wrote him into that trunk with your lies." I pressed my palms into my eyes until colors bloomed behind them. If I walked away, he would still keep hunting. Prospects, volunteers, whatever he wanted to call them. I wouldn't stop it. But now I knew something I hadn't known before. I could make it worse. I could make it happen faster. Or I could try to aim it. The thought made me want to throw up. Find someone who deserves it. Who deserves it? The drunk who got behind the wheel and drove home? The guy who screams at his girlfriend on the phone and grabs her arm too hard outside a bar? The landlord who ignores the mold in his tenant's walls? The cop who cuts corners? I stood at the window and watched people pass under the streetlight, each of them a file I could open if I wanted to. For 12 years, I've watched people from behind glass, behind lenses, behind legal language. I've always been able to tell myself I was neutral and in control. My phone buzzed. Unknown.
I'm patient, Alex, but not that patient. The longer you wait, the more people I look at on my own.
The implication was clear. Do nothing, and who knows how many end up like Eric. Act, and at least I could tell myself I'd picked someone who deserved something. I picked up the pen. Outside, on the corner, a man in a suit was yelling into his phone, one hand slicing the air. I'd seen him before, always cutting people off in traffic, always shoving past slower pedestrians. Last week, I'd watched him grab a waitress's wrist when she got his order wrong. I watched him now, his face twisting, his voice rising. Someone on the other end of the line, absorbing his words because they had no choice. I shouldn't have thought it. I did anyway. What about him? My grip tightened on the pen until it hurt. The line on the page waited. Candidate. I told myself I was just thinking, just watching, just doing what I always do. But my hand still moved, slowly, as if someone else were guiding it. I wrote a name, and the moment the ink dried, I understood the worst part of all of this. He hadn't forced me to. He'd just given me a reason. I stared at the word until it blurred. The room felt smaller, like the walls were inching closer, one breath at a time. Eventually, I set the pen down and stepped back. I should have torn it up. I should have burned it. Instead, I left it sitting there on the table like evidence at a crime scene. My phone buzzed again. This time, It wasn't unknown. Marissa. For a few seconds, I just watched the screen light up. My thumb hovered over the answer button and didn't move. The call went to voicemail. A notification popped up. One new message. I told myself not to listen. Not tonight. Not with that paper still drying on the table. I pressed play anyway. Her voice came through in a strained whisper, like she was calling from inside a church or a hospital.
Alex, it's me. I know you said you'd keep looking into him.
She took a shaky breath. I could hear something faint in the background. A TV, maybe.
He's been different again. Worse. He left last night and came back at 3 a.m. No laptop, no work bag. He just walked in and...
She broke off.
He kissed my forehead and said, "Thank you for starting this." I don't know what that means.
My hand tightened around the phone.
I asked him what he was talking about. He just smiled and said, "You made the call. That's all it ever takes."
There was a pause. I heard a soft, distant sound behind her. A melody, maybe. Barely there. My stomach flipped.
And Alex, he was humming again. That same song, the one I told you about at the coffee shop.
Another pause. Longer this time.
He said he's excited. He hasn't used that word in days, not like that. I don't know what you've found or if you've found anything.
Her breathing hitched. Silence. When she spoke again, the fear in her voice was no longer just about her husband.
Please call me back. I feel like something already started and I missed it.
The message ended with a soft click. For a long time, I just stood there, in the dark, phone in one hand, the paper on the table in front of me. I realized my jaw was clenched, my shoulders were tight, my throat hurt, and under all of that, under the ringing in my ears and the pounding in my chest, there was something else. A sound. Quiet, steady, familiar. It was coming from me. I was humming. If you are based in the UK and would like to enjoy freshly batch roasted coffee delivered to your door, visit vitalcoffee.co.uk and use the coupon code mrfreakystory to get 10% off from all products. I will leave a link in the description below.